part of the reason we've been able to do 10 albums, and not really be superstars or anything like that is that we've never allowed ourselves to be subsidized by any major record company. We always, paid our own bills and went our own way, and if, instead of flying around and having big road crews, we drove and so on and so forth.
Bob Seger has been a beloved figure in the music industry for decades. So when rumors surfaced recently that he had passed away, fans around the globe were left in shock. Fortunately, these reports turned out to be nothing more than a cruel hoax. At 79 years old, the legendary rocker is alive and well, continuing to enjoy life after a storied career. Today, we're taking a look at his remarkable journey from his early years to his rise to fame, his lasting influence, and the rumors that briefly shook his fans. The hoax. In a world where misinformation can spread like wildfire, the rumors of Bob Seger's death were a stark reminder of the impact such falsehoods can have. The hoax, which circulated online, claimed that the legendary rock star had passed away, sending shockwaves through his fan base. The rumor gained traction through social media, where many fans, believing it to be true, shared their grief and memories of the singer. News outlets scrambled to verify the claims, only to discover they were completely unfounded. The reaction from fans was confusion and concern. Some took to Twitter and Facebook to express their disbelief, while others sought confirmation from more reliable sources. In a time where celebrity death hoaxes have become all too common, this particular rumor hit hard because of Seger's iconic status and the deep connection his music has with multiple generations. Seger's team quickly stepped in to dispel the rumors, confirming the singer was alive and well. While Bob himself didn't immediately address the hoax, his representatives assured fans he was in good health and enjoying his retirement. The incident highlighted not only the power of social media to spread misinformation, but also the deep love and concern people still have for Seger. Despite the brief scare, it reinforced the fact that Bob Seger remains a living legend. Early years, from Michigan roots to music.
I lived in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and for some reason we could get this station, WLAC, Nashville, which was a 50,000 watter, and at late at night they had this guy named John R. the Horseman, and he played Southern R&B, just this great stuff like James Brown, Wilson Pickett, Solomon Burke.
Bob Seger's journey into music began in the heart of Michigan, where he was born May 6, 1945 in Detroit. Growing up in Ann Arbor, Seger was exposed to the rich musical landscape of the Midwest, which heavily influenced his sound. His father, who played several instruments, sparked Seger's early interest in music, but his departure from the family when Bob was just 10 years old left a lasting impact on him. This event later was reflected in some of the emotionally charged lyrics that defined Bob's music. Quote, "Music was my escape," he once said, reflecting on those early years. "It was the only thing that made sense to me during that time." Seger's early music career was deeply rooted in the local scene. He started out playing in various bands during high school, and by the mid-60s he'd formed his own group, the Bob Seger System. The band quickly gained a following in Michigan, thanks in part to Seger's raw and energetic performances. His early hits like Ramblin' Gamblin' Man began to get airplay beyond the local stations, hinting at national success. It was during these years that he honed his craft, blending rock and roll with the gritty realism of life in the American Midwest. His lyrics often reflected the struggles and hopes of the working class, something that became a hallmark of his music. These early experiences laid the foundation for a career that eventually made Bob a household name. Rise to fame. Bob Seger's rise to fame in the 1970s was marked by persistence, talent, and a sound that resonated with the American heartland. After years of grinding it out in the Michigan music scene, his breakthrough came with the release of Beautiful Loser in 1975. The album showcased his ability to blend rock with poignant storytelling, but it was the follow-up, Night Moves, that solidified his place in rock history. Released in 1976, Night Moves became a massive success, capturing the essence of youthful nostalgia and the passage of time, themes that defined much of his work. The title track, Night Moves, became an anthem for a generation, telling the story of a young man coming to age in the shadow of the American dream. It was a turning point in Seger's career, catapulting him from regional fame to national stardom. It also marked the beginning of a series of hit records that dominated the charts through the late 70s and early 90s.
We were mixing it, and I called up my manager and I said, boy, this is a big winner, you know? And I said, it doesn't matter what mix you listen to, this thing sounds great. This is, you know, I think we got a big hit record here. And then this fella at Capitol heard it and called me back, said, that's a career record. I said, what's that? He says, you now have a career.
Songs like Main Street and Rock and Roll Never Forgets further cemented Seger's reputation as a master of storytelling through music. As his fame grew, Seger remained grounded in his roots, often reflecting on the influences that shaped his music. He credited the working-class ethos of Michigan and the soulful sounds of Motown for inspiring his unique blend of rock and roll. Quote, I always wanted my music to have substance, he said. It's easy to write a hit, but it's harder to write something that lasts. Career highlights.
We were all arguing about what our band name should be. And I was kind of letting the band pick it themselves.
Bob Seger's career is filled with milestones that define not just his legacy, but the broader history of rock and roll. One of the most remarkable achievements is the enduring success of his greatest hits album, which has remained on the Billboard 200 charts for an astonishing length of time, proving Seger's music continues to resonate with listeners across generations. This compilation, featuring classics like Against the Wind, Old Time Rock and Roll, and Turn the Page, has become a staple in American households. Old Time Rock and Roll, in particular, has become one of Seger's most recognizable songs, famously featured in the 1983 film Risky Business. The song's timeless appeal is a testament to Seger's knack for creating music that transcends eras. Reflecting on its popularity, Seger once noted, I didn't expect it to be as big as it was. It's just a simple song about loving rock and roll, but it struck a chord with people. This humility, despite his success, is one of the main reasons fans continue to admire him. In addition to his studio success, Seger's also known for his powerful live performances. His tours throughout the 70s and 80s were legendary, with the Live Bullet album capturing the energy and intensity of his shows. Songs like Turn the Page, which chronicles the lonely life of a touring musician, became fan favorites and are still widely played today. Seger's ability to connect with his audience, both on record and in concert, helped build a loyal following that has stayed with him throughout his career. In 2004, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. During his speech, he humbly thanked his fans and reflected on the journey, saying, quote, I've always tried to stay true to who I am. Personal life. Beyond the stage and recording studio, Bob Seger has led a life marked by personal triumphs and challenges. His personal life, while often kept out of the spotlight, offers a glimpse into the man behind the music. Seger's been married 3 times, with his third and current marriage to Juanita Doricott being the most enduring. The couple tied the knot in 1993 and have since built a life together away from the public eye. Despite his fame, Seger has always valued his privacy and the peace that comes with a more subdued personal life. Quote, I've always kept my personal life separate from my music, he once mentioned. It's important to me that my family has their own space. Seger and Doricott have 2 children, a son named Cole and a daughter named Samantha. While Seger's career often took him on the road, he made it a priority to be present for his children. He also remained connected to his Michigan roots. He's often spoken about his love for the state and the sense of grounding it provides him. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite Bob Seger song? Let us know in the comments section below.